Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Sunday, August 22nd. This is your daily Buckeye fix. I'm Tom Moore. The Minnesota game is in 11 days. The game against Michigan in 97 days. The first Ohio State game week starts tomorrow, more or less. The game week is a little longer than an actual week, which is what happens when you start on a Thursday. But for all intents and purposes, focus is shifting from positional battles now to preparing for the season opener at Minnesota. But before we officially turn the page to the season, I did want to take a quick look back through some of the more interesting things we heard last week from the Buckeyes. A lot of our interviews centered on the running backs and defensive linemen, two position groups with a lot of intrigue and some very promising young players this fall. Let's start with the defensive line. Defensive line coach Larry Johnson was asked about the growth of true freshman defensive end Jack Sawyer. Not only how he's developed physically, but also how far behind he was after not playing football last fall.
Quite ready. He got in here, he's probably like 225 with 230 and walked in the door. He's about 255 now, so he's put on almost 30 pounds of just muscle mass since he's been here. So it's been a transition. He didn't play football, and so he wasn't as strong when he came in. But over summer, you know what I mean, Coach Mick and the staff did a great job getting ready. I mean, he's 255 right now, look really good. But that's the work he's put into it.
Are there worries when that happens? I mean, it doesn't happen that often, but he didn't play football. Right. And we're sitting here all talking about him like he's supposed to be an impact player this year. Were you a little skeptical at first when he came?
I mean, expectations very high because he's a local guy, but I think he still has to go on the field and play. He has not played football almost a year and a half now. And spring football doesn't really count. It's just a fundamental thing. So we got to wait and see how he develops as we go forward. We got, 15, 16 more days before the first game. So now we started pushing him to see what happens.
Sawyer, of course, is not the only highly rated true freshman defensive end on the team this year. Larry Johnson shared a funny story about the day he finally got the call from JT Tuimoloau just a little bit over a month ago when he finally found out that Tuimoloau would be a Buckeye.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was actually out in the yard cutting grass, and I got a text and say, "Hey, Coach, I'm going to call you in about 20 minutes." And so then I stood up on the steps and waited like a little kid, wait for this phone call. And he gets on the phone. He's a coach. I got a minute. I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And to me, is that one line is, "Well, Coach, we made our mind up, and we decided what we're going to do." And I'm about ready to pass out because you don't know where this is going to go now. Right? I don't want bad news. And all of a sudden they say, "Hey, Coach, I'm going to be a Buckeye." I think I screamed real so loud outside. Chris come running out the door and say, "You all right? You all right? You all right?" I said, "We got JT." So that was pretty exciting. And they were too. So it's a good fit.
Last fall, the Ohio State defense ranked very highly on the rankings list of quarterback pressures, but they were not nearly as high on the ranking in terms of sacks. So what can they do this year to solve that issue and actually finish the play and get the quarterback down to the ground? Defensive end Tyreke Smith had some ideas.
You got to win your one-on-ones quicker. I feel like you can't. A lot of people want to blame like other things, but I feel like at that point you can just look at yourself like, what do you do? What can you do to get better? What can you do to get around your opponent faster? So that's what I did. With myself, I seen like a lot of like my pressure rate, but I'm like it's not equivalent to like what the sacks. So I'm like something I'm doing wrong. Whether I'm not hitting the hands right, I'm not bending the edge, I'm not bursting. And that's something I need to work on. So like that's why I've been trying to work on, fixing so I could we could all turn those, those pressures into sacks.
When you guys are in the room and talking at Freshmen, I don't know, what was the sense? Were you satisfied with the pressure rate? Were you getting criticized for not getting the sacks? No,
we never satisfied. We're always trying to get better. We're always hungry to get better. But it was just like, man, it was a lot of just missed sacks. So, we just got to go out there and get better. That's what we told ourselves. Like, man, we can't be sad, that we're not getting the sacks. Like, we still doing something right. So all we gotta do is, fix it's the little things that, amount to the big things. So maybe it was like you got around him, but you didn't burst to the quarterback, or you didn't stick your hand out to get a sack fumble, like when he had put his hand back to throw it. So like, it's just little things like that that make when you look at the pressure rate, it makes you think about like, am I doing everything right? Am I doing all the little things right? Is there something else I can work on? Because I always said, like, I talked to Chase, and, Chase wouldn't miss the sacks, if he was out there. So I just tell myself, like, man, I'm not about to make any excuse for myself, because I'm not getting there. So, yeah, that's not an excuse for me not to get this sack. Yeah, I'm not letting that be something I'm going to stick with. So we got to turn those into sacks.
On the other side of the ball, there has been a ton of hype around true freshman running back TreVeyon Henderson. We got a chance to talk to his position coach, Tony Alford, earlier in the week about some of the elusiveness that Henderson has shown during our practice viewing opportunities, and then how that makes a big difference on the field.
And everyone's a little bit different, but he's got some different skill sets that can kind of get guys off balance a little bit just by kind of lean here and lean there, a little jab here, jab there, and that he can get defenders off balance just enough that he can squirt by him because he's got a good burst about him. One thing that's real for me is he, just before attacking a defender for a tackle, he does a good job of being able to level his pads off and get himself squared off. And you're not going to get real clean shots at him, and you're not going to catch him off guard. He gets behind his pads, really nice for a young guy. And so yeah, he's got some innate stuff about it. I'd like to say I coach it all, but I can't.
Henderson himself was asked how college camp was different from this time of year when he was a high school player.
What's different about it is you got the big linebackers actually trying to come and knock you out. So it's all about technique. If your technique good, you should be straight.
Is that been your, biggest challenge to adjust to at this level? I mean, your wiggle seems to be there still when you run.
Not really. I think I've been doing really good with my pass protection. Just got to work more on my technique. But other than that, I've been doing pretty good on that.
What were your expectations for yourself coming in?
I got a lot of expectations for myself. I got big expectations. I don't want to put that out there, but I got big expectations for myself.
In a room with 5 backs in it, what do you have to do to stand out, you think? Is it just do everything right? I mean, how would you describe it?
Yeah, definitely that. I mean, it's all about competing and stuff like that, getting better each and every day. You can't take no day off. You can't waste a day, because you waste a day, that next running back, he not wasting a day. He trying to get better.
This time last year, Miyan Williams was the true freshman running back who came in and surprised a lot of people by making a real impact. During this offseason, he changed his diet. It was just part of an effort to get faster, and the guy nicknamed Pork Chop is now being much more selective about the types of meats he eats. No more beef, he says that has made a difference in terms of how he feels on the field.
I'm just changing my diet, really. That helped me a lot, changing my diet, eating the right stuff, and just working out a lot too.
What's the difference in you? Is there a difference weight-wise from last year to now?
Yeah, I'm actually 10 pounds lighter.
Okay. And then from a speed standpoint, like you ran 40 last year, you ran it this year.
Yeah, in the offseason, I stretched a lot. When I was training back at home, I did a lot of stretching and stuff. Got my speed up a little bit.
What is your weight?
223.
What has it done for you? Do you feel like you've got a 10-pound weight off your back? You feel lighter?
Yeah, actually, I feel lighter.
Feel lighter?
I feel better than last year.
I mean, explain what that's like running around 10 pounds lighter.
I just feel like you feel like more loose.
Does it make? I mean, practice is not easy, but do you feel that physically now? And as you finish a practice, maybe what you did a year ago, do you physically feel different?
Yeah. Definitely feel different than last year. Last year it was tough. Freshman year, everything just going back quick.
And last but not least, let's talk to the other freshman, running back Evan Pryor. He was asked about his first fall camp and the areas in which he feels like he's grown the most since arriving in Columbus back in January.
Yeah, definitely. Just everything developed as a whole person. Not even on the field, but off the field as well. Just getting my body right, getting my mind right, and I think I couldn't have been more prepared for camp.
What do you think's been like the biggest thing you've had to learn so far in this first year?
Just knowing how to play the game up top, up here in your head. That's something me and Coach Alford, put an emphasis on. The mental game is 90% mental, 10% physical. So just making sure I got that down.
How much have the older guys helped you with that?
Oh yeah, all of them. Just make sure I'm good, from master all the way down. Even me and Trey may talk through it. We just all making sure each other's straight.
Yeah, how do you and Trey push each other?
Yeah, it's super competitive. Not only with us, but all of us super competitive. But at the end of the day, we love each other, and we know Coach Alford could say either one of us go, and we know we're gonna be ready.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Those interviews have been very informative. We've gotten a chance to talk to a lot more players than we typically did in previous years. So that has been very useful for us in terms of writing stories and also kind of letting you guys know what's going on with the team. Hope you guys got to enjoyed getting to hear from some guys you probably haven't heard from before, and we'll enjoy hearing more from those guys in the future. Coming up this week, we still have interviews with Matt Barnes and the safeties on Monday, Brian Hartline and the wide receivers on Wednesday. We still haven't talked to the specialists either, so hopefully we've got a chance to talk to the kickers and punters at some point later on this week as we count down to the start of the season. just a little over a week away. And also just over a little over a week away, the premiere of the documentary Fight for Football, Saving the 2020 Season. That is a Buckeye Scoop production. We're going to have the world premiere next Monday, August 30th in Columbus at the Lenox Theater, right across the river from Ohio State's campus. If you want to go be there to see the world premiere of that film and also hear from all sorts of Buckeye Scoop staff members, it could be a really, really fun evening. You need to sign up today to become a member of BuckeyeScoop.com. You'll get access to that film. You'll be able to get tickets to that film and access to a whole bunch of other fun live events we got coming up later on this fall. You'll also get access to our Ask the Insiders board, our great team of insiders, lots of insight and analysis that you just can't find anywhere else on the internet, all focused on Ohio State. We have an incredible team of reporters, recruiting analysts, former players, so much more, people from all over the country providing insight and analysis, X's and O's gurus. We got it all. It's all at BuckeyeScoop.com. Sign up to become a member today. And also do make sure you check out all of our great podcasts. They're on whatever podcast platform you like, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify. Just search Buckeye Scoop and you'll find all of those. You can subscribe right there and also leave us a 5-star rating and review, which will help other folks find those shows as well. We do genuinely appreciate that when we get a good review. And finally, youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. You can find all of our podcasts, all sorts of high school highlights, interviews with Ohio State prospects, interviews with Ohio State players and coaches, all sorts of videos from inside practice earlier this month. It's all at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. At the end of this video, something will pop up. It'll have another suggested video for you to watch, but it'll also have a Buckeye Scoop logo. If you click on that one, that'll subscribe you to our YouTube channel, which will help, will make sure you get notified every time we post a new video, which means you won't miss anything. We will have a ton of content coming up. We've got all sorts of really exciting stuff planned for the fall. Game week just about a week away. So we are right there. We'll have pregame stuff, postgame stuff, all sorts of stuff, more than you have ever seen before. This is the second year that we have covered the team at Buckeye Scoop, but it is the first year we've had like a real, true, normal-ish looking season. And we are really excited to see, to be able to show you what we can do as a team. And just with our team of analysts and insiders, should be a fantastic season. So youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop, hit that subscribe button so you'll get to be a part of all of that excitement. That'll do it for today. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.